France, I'm not surprised, being the superhead. But at the same time, Finland too want to clear their conscience. They want to clear the world, they want to clear the EU, and they want to clear everybody, including Nigeria themselves, that this man you are accusing of terrorism is not a terrorist. Despite the fact that he's our citizen, you are trying to tarnish the image.
Okay, according to a channel on YouTube, Okute Daily, he has come out and said that the Nigerian government, that's CDS Musa and Tinubu, paid heavily, to the European Union for them to arrest Simon Ekpa. That it was the European Union that applied pressure on Finland for them to arrest Ekpa. And one of the countries that was involved in this was France. So it says that France was involved in this, and it said the European Union put massive pressure on that is the US European Union put pressure on Finland to finally arrest Ekpa. They said they were bribed, and if this money was invested in the economy, even food inflation would have gone down. What is your take as regards this?
God bless you. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are watching us from. I remember my humble self, Evangelist Benjamin Johnson, is a Snachi, the Biafran evangelist, in whom I always air my view and the angle of the truth and nothing but the truth. Hear me and hear me clearly. The pure truth to hear is this. I have stated it clearly to us before that Finland is part of EU, European Union. And there are people that they hate anything, any good country hate anything attached with terrorism. You understand? So yes, if you say that Nigeria paid heavily, to European Union, or to be precise, France, to make sure that they stop Simon Ekpa. Yes, I will not doubt, I will not disagree, because you can see how Mr. President traveled to France, where they were dancing, chopping money, and after the dancing, he came back, and the next thing he brought their drones to Nigeria and decided to, plant it in the northern and the eastern region, instead which the northerners rebuked him that time and said he should take it to their, to the west. I'm not surprised if such a country like France was one of the people that Nigeria used to persuade Finland against Simon Ekpa. But at the same time, let me tell you, on the contrary, they themselves, being the Finland, being the part of the EU, and at the same time the part of NATO, they joined NATO in 2001. You understand? So they themselves, as a good nation, they wouldn't want anything their name to be attached at anything called terrorism. So they have to do a thorough investigation and a thorough justice pertaining to what terrorism. But quite fortunate that it's unfortunate that at the end of the day, the Nigerian who propagated all the whole thing have come out to withdraw such statements, such allegation, accusation on Simon Ekpa, because it's like they did not actually understand the implication of what that will tell on them if eventually that the young man was vindicated. So that was why when they now grabbed the clue of what shall before them, they decided to withdraw it. It's not longer terrorists as they say, but it was a cyber. That's how Nigeria ended it. It was what? A cyber thing, not as the, So, and France, I'm not surprised, being the superhead. But at the same time, Finland too want to clear their conscience. They want to clear the world, they want to clear the EU, and they want to clear everybody, including Nigeria themselves, that this man you are accusing of terrorism is not a terrorist. Despite the fact that he's our citizen, you are trying to tarnish the image of, somebody of the caliber of Simon Ekpa and his position in Finland. If somebody of that, that position could be involved in terrorism, that means Finland themselves is not safe. They are at risk, so they can be, disturbed or attacked at any given time. If this young man is actually a terrorist, being a former commander in their army for years, the same time now, controlling one of the political position. You understand? in the state, in the land, in the country. You know what that means. So it will not speak good in that country called Finland. You understand? So they are definitely exposed to danger. So that's why they have to take their time thoroughly to investigate everything pertaining to Simon Ekpa. And that is why after doing this, they're now telling Nigeria, you can come out and defend what you have said, and Nigeria are going back.
They're going back.
They are going back.
Well, in time past, we've heard in the media where it was alleged that Nigeria use the oil and gas to bribe Finland as regards arresting Simon Ekpa.
They use it, yes, to bribe their way to make sure they stop Simon Ekpa of what he intend to do. And the intention of Nigeria was to stop the declaration. You understand? That was held last year, December 2nd. You understand? Nigeria planned and plotted many things in different ways, in different angles, just to stop the young man. But it's quite unfortunate to Nigeria that in the game that they played, at the end of the day, they failed. They couldn't achieve it. But because the Biafra issue, the whole world saw it, witnessed it, and many nations welcome it. Many nations agreed. And let me tell you, that is to tell you that Nigeria, I'm sorry to say this, I wonder sometimes when I sit down, I begin to think about this country, I used to ask myself, how do these people, how do we reason? How do we think? How do we reason things at times? Simon Ekpa is never a problem of this country. The money that you would have used to invest on the economy, the whole the Nigerians will benefit immensely. You are using it to pursue only one head, one person, just one person. You are after one person, pursuing everything concerning one person, and at the end of the day, you waste this money. Your dream, the purpose of that money was not achieved. It's a complete waste. Nigeria know how to waste money. Are you getting it? After borrowing or set of borrowing, the one in China, IMF, many other borrowing, they have borrowed. They did not think of how to pay. You understand? As currently as I speak to you, Nigeria are not paying their debt. They only service their debt. Instead of them reasoning in that angle, instead of using this money, let us pay part of our debt. Instead of pushing it, spending it, wasting it on top of one man. Is it not better we use it? But they don't reason that way. And funny enough, they wasted the whole money. And that thing which they intend to stop, they couldn't stop it. That is a funny aspect of it. They couldn't stop it.
Was it the declaration or Ekpa himself they wanted to stop?
Not even Ekpa himself. They don't want to that meeting to hold. Because they believe that Simon Ekpa, the guy was gingering, the guy was smoking. You understand me? Smoking. And they believe that by stopping Simon Ekpa himself or holding him or kidnapping him or, anything at all to silence him will silence that thing. But quite unfortunate that even as he was not present, the thing was, was held. And the thing, everybody, the whole world, entire world gathered to witness it. And everything was successful. And that same declaration, restoration, which they don't want to be held, was held. And it was announced on November 29. You understand? And if you watch the people that embrace this occasion, they are not just Biafrans, just like that. They are men that matters. Men in the diaspora of the world, different countries with a different ideology, different water, different mentality, different reasoning, different mindset, different vision and dream. Leaders of the world. Both to the ones Africa, Europe, they send those that could not come, they send their delegates, their representatives. That is to tell you how unsomely the thing went. You understand me? So, what is the need of the money they spend? Are you not seeing it as a total waste? in the axis of not reasoning well. Lack of mental reasoning. You know, that is what the Nigerian government lack. They did not reason well. Because even ever since Simon Ekpa has not been talking, does it stop anything? Rather, it promotes more. Look at it today. As I speak to you, I don't know, please tune your data and get connected to United States of America for you to see. And I know starting from this evening and tomorrow, you begin to see uploading of what happened in America today. You will see, even the people that you are pursuing and you want to get, they are the ones now being invited. You understand? They have been invited and they are present there in today's Donald Trump inauguration, the 47th president of United States of America. You understand? See, it is the high time that Nigeria wake up from their slumber and reason good, because their reasoning is not normal. The reason is not normal. Imagine spending that kind of huge amount of money. And that amount of money, they will not even mention it because they know it will be a shameful thing. Now they spend that kind of amount of money just to stop one man. Just to stop one man. It doesn't make sense to me. Because that money, my brother, how much is the minimum wage that you cannot pay? Only you are agreeing, even with the force. With the force, you are paying 70,000. 70,000. You are paying 70,000. But you see that money that they spend, you understand, to stop Simon Ekpa. If they put it in minimum wage, my brother, our workers, the labor supposed to be collecting at least 200 to 250,000. If they should invest part of it in our education, it will go a long way, very long way. If they should put it in the food, it will go a long way. If they add it in our transportation, in the fuel, it will make the cost of transport. I'm hearing now that even the price of fuel went to increase from the normal price as it was before. We were buying 1,150. I don't know how much it will go now. Maybe probably 1,500. That is to, excuse me, that just is 1,500. Where are we going? But you can spend billions of dollars pursuing one person. You know, they don't want to mention it because they know that Nigerians will definitely speak and calculate it, the worth in naira. We will convert it in naira. The whole world will hear and see. You understand? And we Nigerians, you know, many Nigerians doesn't know what is going on. They don't actually understand what is going on. And many Nigerians, they have given up on Nigeria. Any issue that pertains to Nigeria, they don't want to listen. Why? Because they are not happy in the country. You understand? So anyone you ask now, go tell you, say, you go tell, I beg, or go leave that thing not today. You don't tell where we are beg, you know, this thing, Baba. The other one, the other day was telling me, Pastor, if I see opportunity not to jackpot, I watch your video, but that thing will not they talk self not today. They don't they talk and now. People don't they talk and when they talk and nothing they happen, Baba. I bet me when I leave that thing. Everybody should find a way. That is what is coming out. Because they have lost hope. Because the politicians, the leaders have disappointed him. So he did not have any hope again. Than to only hope now is how to jackpot.
A shocking, unexpected move. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dragged the immediate past president Muhammadu Buhari to the International Chamber of Commerce Court of at least Buhari too should try and face the heat, because people have been saying, especially in the north, oh, Mr. Integrity, Mr. Integrity, and some of the Buhari camp have been the ones that are even speaking bad about Tinubu. And Tinubu is aware. So Tinubu thought in his mind that I've been shielding you people. I've been trying to be politically correct. And at the end of the day, you guys are now seeing yourself as star. In the eyes of the world, Buhari is Mr. Integrity. Buhari is a good guy. But in the eyes of the world, he is the drug bearer, he is the certificate forger, he is the man that doesn't have integrity, he's the one that is inflicting hardship, he's the one that, okay, don't worry, I've received more than enough bullets for you guys in terms of political correctness. Now you guys should go and account for what is happening. And that is why Buhari didn't want to appear. He was reluctant. But Tinubu government had to force him. The Attorney General, Lateef Fagbemi, told him explicitly that whether you like it or not, you must appear before the court to account for what happened in your government. And you know it is unprecedented because people don't usually appear. Normally, what usually happens is when you are president, whatever you do, that is the end. Immediately you leave, they can be dragging your aides, you know, your assistant, but they won't drag you. But this time, Tinubu have decided, no, as the court has demanded, you, Buhari, must appear. Kudos to Tinubu. Let us be fair to ourselves. Let us praise the man anytime he has done well. It doesn't cost him anything to shoot Buhari. He will just send one of his aides, maybe all this Malami during the Buhari time, or anybody, or even the Attorney General at the moment, Lateef Fagbemi, to go and speak on behalf of Nigeria. After all, government is continuing. But Tinubu insists that Buhari should go and give account. What else can the man do? We don't hate anybody, we don't like anybody on this channel. On this aspect, Tinubu has done right, he has done the right thing, and may God give him the strength to see this case to the end in such a way that even at the end of the day, if Nigeria is to pay any damages, the world would have known the truth that the Buhari government brought nothing more than enormous calamity to Nigeria. And it will be interesting in the days ahead because more revelation will come. And I hope that Tinubu will not backtrack. May God lead him right. And a shocking, unexpected move. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dragged the immediate past president Muhammadu Buhari to the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris, France, for Buhari to account for mismanagement, corruption, and irregularities that happened during his reign as president. Tinubu could no longer hold the excesses that happened during the Buhari regime, and he compelled Buhari that no, this time you must bear your father's name. You must appear and make account for what happened during your reign. What prompted it? What is Buhari accounting for? What is the political dynamics that is playing out? For you to understand this, we will be taking a journey back to 1999 to 2005 for you to understand this very deeply, because it is about the Mambila Power Project. You remember the Mambila Power Project that they usually accuse the former president Obasanjo of $6 billion. Usually, yeah, it's $6 billion, $6 billion. Why is electricity in Nigeria yet to improve? What is really happening? What is the power play? What happened to that money? What happened to that contract? Follow me on this journey for us to understand what is happening and why Buhari is in court and the implication of it for both the present government of Nigeria and the past leadership of Nigerians. Hear what Nigerians are facing in the hands of their politicians, and trust me, you will nod your head in shame for the kind of leadership that Nigeria have produced over the years. In 1999, when President Olusegun Obasanjo emerged as president at that time, like any reasonable president, the issue of the power as the issue of power in Nigeria was top on his mind. He wants Nigeria to have constant electricity, having realized what power holds in today's economy and the use of technology. So Obasanjo was interested in making sure that Nigeria have constant power supply. And in the process of that, a man showed up called Leno Adesanya. Leno Adesanya introduced the Mambila hydroelectric power project to the Nigerian government, according to what I read. So he was the one that was facilitating it. He involved some companies in China. And at the end of the day, when they were able to do the bidding, the man, because he was the front runner of that thing, he was able to win that particular project for $6 billion US. When Leno Adesanya won the contract, he is to execute the contract with another Chinese company. I think Sinful something, you know, the name of the Chinese company. So let me just call the name of the Chinese company SIF. That's SIF. That's a short form of the exact name of the company. So he is to execute the contract with SIF, a Chinese company, and everything was going on fine. But there were some interested parties during the Obasanjo time, because immediately they heard that $6 billion was involved. Then it became a problem. There were beginning to be some power tussle, some power play among the key people in the government. Now, when Obasanjo left as president and Yar'Adua came on board, the dynamics, the power play also changed. The Yar'Adua team was also interested in the money. So they were pushing the man, the Leno Adesanya, who was in charge of it, the Nigerian part. You know, if you are to execute a $6 billion project, there's no way you won't have like a Nigerian partner, in the sense that you will need recruitment, logistics, modalities, knowledge of the local terrain, a lot of things that will be involved. So this Leonard Osanya's company, called the Sunrise Power and Transmission Company of Nigeria, is to align with SIP, the short form of that Chinese company's name. But when Yar'Adua came, there were some power play and some power dynamics. When Yar'Adua traveled to China, he got wind of the power play, and he tried to mediate into it and see that everything got resolved. So government by government, they were trying to cut the powers of Leonard Adesanya's company, which is the Sunrise Power and Transmission Company, that the contract was awarded to execute it with SIP. And when Yar'Adua tried to resolve it, some of the powers, some of the things that can bring goodies for Sunrise that was held by Leonard Adesanya was cut short. Goodluck Jonathan came, the same thing continued. At some point, they brought in another company called CGGC&C to execute the project alongside that company called SIP. So when they brought CGC&C, then CGC&C was to have about 50%, and that SIP, the first Chinese company, was to have 50% as well, in terms of the outside modalities, bringing in of technologies, equipment, and the general, external needs for the contract to be executed. Now, the power play continued during the Goodluck Jonathan time, and as the power play continued, the power play was mainly between the Nigerian political elite. Not that the Chinese company had any issues. The Chinese company were straightforward, but the power play was among the political elite in the sense that what is in it for me? What will happen to the money that will be released? So most of them, they were dragging the Sunrise Power and Transmission Company headed by Leonard Adesanya. They were dragging him back and forth, creating a lot of issues and headache for the man, but the man was cooperating with them. Now, to fast forward, there were no much issue during the time of Obasanjo, Yar'Adua. It was just like a power play that, what is in it for me. And I think during Yar'Adua or Jonathan's time, about $15 million was released, and it was a high-ranking government official that allegedly pocketed $15 million